Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We all want a good life, and one of the key elements of a good life is having a very understanding, loving, caring and a friend like spouse. And if that is one element which can really destroy our happiness, destroy our mental peace, and in spite of all the material resources that we have, all the wealth that we have, we may not be able to enjoy life to the fullest, then this is a key relationship. I have also made videos around why the spouse is a very important relationship and how long lasting the spouse relationship can be, and how it can impact our lives, and how to see those placements. Today I am going to give you some tips on how to select a right partner according to your horoscope, and also to see that the partner should be one who is able to fulfill those aspirations of yours which you have from the spouse, and also be able to complement you in various areas of life. Now, many times when you do horoscope matching, what do? We go to the family pandit and we tell them that this is my horoscope, this is the horoscope of the so-called would-be spouse, probable spouse, and please match. Then the pandit may do a guna matching and he sees various elements, compares them, and he comes back and says, okay, more than 24 points, so this is a good match, 36 points, it's a great match, and so on. But why is it that in spite of 36 points or more points than 30, or and having good traditional background, having a similar background in terms of social background and everything, yet a lot of divorces happen in spite of the matching being done? The reason being is that we only look at the guna matching, we look at points system, percentage of matching, but we don't look at, is the person compatible to our own nature, our aspirations. So for example, if you are somebody who is a no nonsense person, a very practical person, and you look at life in very practical arena, your vision of looking at life is very practical, and there is less area for you in terms of being emotional, the softy, the mushy kind, and the sugar coating things to say something. You're probably one of those people who likes to say it as it is without any sugar coating, and directly and frankly, but it may not always be conducive to the atmosphere in the house. When you are growing children in the house, then you do need somebody who can balance that. So it is always good that if you are a practical person, a no nonsense person, you don't hold back what you want to say, and you don't care so much about whether the person feels good or bad, because you feel he or she needs to know the truth, then obviously a caring, more supportive, more soft person would be able to balance the situation at home, and that is the kind of person you probably should want. However, does the other person want the kind of spouse that you are? So that is also important, and that's why the horoscope matching should go much beyond the points. Now, how do we select the appropriate spouse? Based on our needs, our vision of life, plus also looking at stability and longevity of life. I have already given tips on how you do the horoscope matching in one of my earlier videos. Today we are not talking about only the horoscope matching, but I am also looking at those attributes of life which are key to a marriage being a happy marriage and a stable and steady marriage. So what do we normally look at? We look at somebody who is wise, who is educated, who comes from a stable background and maybe qualified, and somebody who is maybe working and can support. If we are working, we also want a spouse probably who's also working. So based on our needs, we look at these areas. But some people may not want the spouse to be working. They may be okay, or in fact they may be happy to have a non-working spouse, means the person who doesn't have a career outside of the home but is a homemaker. Her most of her work or her most of her focus is in the house, or his focus is in the house. Today is a different world. It won't be a big surprise if the woman goes out to work and she wants a husband who can stay home and take care of the house. And we also get such couples. So it has to be a balance both ways. So how do we look at that person who from a horoscope matching can make you happy and be a good balance, and also give you a steady and long lasting marriage. And I'm going beyond the areas of longevity or the areas of education or the areas of whether there is right balance in terms of overall methodology to approach relations, from house placements and others. I want to do a combination of placements and also your attitude towards life from your what you gather. So for example, if you are a person who is who's looking for a stable partner, if you are in business, for example in real estate, you may not get money like a lot of people who are salaried may get if it's your business, or if you are a real estate agent, for example, who works on commission. Whenever there is a deal, you get money. So whenever there is no deal, sometime which happens for months, you don't get any money. But when you crack a deal, you get good amount of money, which can sustain you for 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year. So you want somebody who can keep the kitchen fire burning, and you want maybe a working person, a career person who is a salaried person, so that the monthly expenses of the houses are taken care of, and when you get a big deal, maybe you can use that money to invest somewhere or buy something good, buy a car, go for a vacation or whatever. So it's a combination of what you and your spouse wants. So when you're looking at such a person who has to have a stable income, then you need to look at the 10th house and look at Saturn's position in the horoscope. If you have a strong 10th house and you have strong Saturn, then obviously the Saturn will give more stability, and the 10th house will ensure that the person is not out of job for long. The other thing is to look at, there should not be too many planets in the 5th house. Why the 5th house? The 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So if there are more planets in the 5th house, especially the malefic one, then what do? Just like the 8th house to the Lagna will give sudden upheavals and trauma to the Lagna, to the person, the 8th to the 10th house will give sudden upheavals, sudden trauma to the person's work and career. And so if there are more planets in the 5th house, again and again the 5th house, or the loss of job or change of job or upheavals on job or trauma to job may come up, and then the person will have to struggle in his or her career. So when you're looking at a spouse who has a stable job, stable career, then you need to look at all the three. You need to look at a strong 10th house, strong 10th lord, Saturn being very strong in the horoscope, which gives stability. If Saturn is placed in the 10th house or aspects the 10th house in a friendly sign, then nothing like it. And you want a good 5th house with very few aspects or malefics in that, and if possible very few planets in that. So you need to look at a number of combinations which works for you. If you are a person, as I said, a no nonsense person, a practical person, and who doesn't mince words and is very frank, then you want somebody who is more balanced in terms of being a little mushy, being more logical, but also wise, and can show or put forward a more softer, a more caring approach to relations. So somebody who has a moon associated with the Lagna or the 4th house is important. If the person has moon in the Lagna, then the person can be emotional and generally emotional. So you may want to avoid that if you are too frank and you don't want a very emotional person, because then the person has all round emotionality, and anybody and everybody can hurt the person, especially if moon is in a tough spot, in low in degrees, in negative sign or in negative aspects in the Lagna. Then moon in the 4th house can, or aspecting the 4th house can be a good sign, if because then the person's emotionality is more towards domestic issues and not overall, and the person will take care of the things at home, the matters at home will be taken care of because of the person's approach being more caring and soft. So at least with family members, with children, maybe with your with the person's in-laws, which means your parents and maybe your sibling, the person will be more supportive, more caring. If not, if you are a couple who you plan to live alone and without anybody else, then at least there should be some reflection or some association of moon with the 7th house, because then the person can showcase caring approach, and a more softer approach, a more mushy approach towards relationship, or at least towards you, if moon gets associated with the 7th house. On the other hand, in terms of intimacy is something very, very critical, and something we ignore when we do horoscope matching. So if you are a person who likes intimacy and you like to experiment, you are somebody who is more playful, and you are somebody who is more creative in matters of intimacy, then you would want somebody who is also playful, not shy to experiment, is more open-minded in the bedroom and in matters of intimacy, and who can share your excitement, your adventurism, your thrill when it comes to the matters of sex and intimacy. Then you would want somebody who has a strong Venus, and if you have a strong Venus plus the 7th house is also strong, then matters of intimacy can be more fun, can also be more maybe more sexual, and you may have more fun and more pleasure in the bedroom. However, if Venus is debilitated, for example, and that too in the 7th house, for Pisces associate or for Pisces native aspecting the Lagna, then such a person may have a problem, because then the person may not have that kind of urge or for need for intimacy as probably you have. Or such a person, if the person is looking for a beautiful spouse, for example, if you have a debilitated Venus in the 7th house and you are looking for a very beautiful spouse, then you will definitely have trouble, because you have a debilitated Venus, that too in the 7th house. So you need to look at what are the factors which you want strongly to be associated with your spouse, and which makes selection easier. If you want, as I said, a more sexual intimate partner, you want strong Venus, and you also want the strong 7th house with no negative aspects on it. If you are more experimental and you are more creative, you want to try out different things, and Rahu to some extent getting involved more through aspect, through either its 5th aspect from the 3rd house, or even the 9th aspect from the 11th house, can still be okay, because it will bring in some experimentation in your life, in your sexual life, without troubling you too much. Rahu placed in the 7th house is more dangerous by virtue of its placement, especially if any other malefic gets associated with Rahu or with the 7th house. If you are looking for somebody who is a person who you want to be more rule oriented, who should be very disciplined in the house, and because you feel that you are too soft, you are too mushy, and you are too emotional, and you may not be able to control the household affairs or your kids, then you would want somebody maybe who can be strict, who can be very strong on the values and principles and how the house should be conducted. And so Saturn's association with the 4th house, either through being its placement or being the lord of the 4th house and being strong, or even aspecting the 4th house, can bring to a small to a large degree of discipline in life, a disciplined approach towards matters of the house. If you want somebody who you want somebody to be very neat and tidy and very, very hygienic, beautifies the house, takes very good care of the house, then you need the Venus associated with the 4th house. Venus associated with the 4th house means such a person who has Venus associated with the 4th house as a spouse will take good care of the house, will have neat and tidy curtains, bedroom, everything will be spick and span. There will be beautiful perfumes in the house, it will smell good, it will look clean, and it will also attract beneficence. On the other hand, if you have a small house and you are looking for a spouse who can be okay with a small house herself, then you should look at somebody who doesn't have Jupiter associated with the 4th house or doesn't aspect it. Jupiter will not only give the opportunity of a large house, but will also create the aspiration. So if the person aspires for a big large house and you are not able to give it, then the aspiration will remain within the person's heart and mind and will not be fulfilled by you, and therefore there will be a strong area in the person's life which you are not able to help. So it's always better that if you have a small house, or if you think you will be moving regularly because of your government job and you will only get small houses, and you want a homemaker who herself will not be earning, then you should look at somebody who doesn't have a strong Jupiter associated with the 4th house aspecting it, but you want a strong Mercury to be associated, because Mercury is a planet of smaller things. It's a childlike planet or a child planet, and such a person will also be somebody who will have an analytical eye on the house and will also take care of the matters of the house and the family better. So you need to look at the various different combinations which suit you. If you are somebody who is looking for some intimacy and you just want to have the sexual pleasures to a limited extent, then or sex doesn't excite you so much, but you select a spouse who has for example a strong Mars and Venus in the 7th house, then obviously the person's need for intimacy is much higher and your need for intimacy is much less. Then what will happen? The person will either have to do pleasure, that's self pleasure themselves, or sometimes if the marriage has cracks and it develops crack, then the person may also be looking outside of marriage, outside of the relationship, to be able to be satiated sexually. Then you get into dangerous territory. So based on how your approach to life is, based on what you want in the partner, not just through horoscope but your mentality, your attitude, then you need to balance this out and look at it from your attitude and behavior perspective, and not just horoscope matching in terms of guna matching, or whether the person is from the same tribe or family, or from either a Dev or Daitwa clan and so on. That will only help you so much. Look at balances in terms of attitude, look at balances in terms of behavior, look at balances in terms of mental approach to the relationship. Only then you can say that you not only have a stable, steady marriage, but you also have a happy married life. So friends, please like this video, please share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until we meet some other time, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.